if you are handling Emil very well, I think it's a multi-crore brand till now. And when you started Ayurveda also, it was a multi-crore brand. Then what was the thought of having a separate brand for beauty, cosmetic?
So, the family pressure and everything, that you have to focus on the studies. And I did not join any professional academy till my 12th.
And I see your passion every Sunday, guys. You check this man's social media. Mostly on the Sundays, he's playing some cricket competition. And so many matches, so many tournaments. I don't know the diversity of those tournaments that much. And every time you are somehow winning some aspect. So is it, some people are asking, is it sponsored?
There are no personal care products which are free from chemicals. All have chemicals. We say we are free from harsh chemicals. We don't use anything harmful chemical. We are using chemicals which have been derived from nature, basically. Either they are derived from naturally or they are natural. There are only two categories which we are using.
Welcome, Ayurdarshan. We are continuing from the episode 1, and we have a fabulous guest with us, Dr. Sanchit Sharma ji. So we talked about certain aspects. You missed, if you missed, you are seeing this episode 2 first time. So please check our episode 1, understanding how Emil started as a startup in the era of 1980s, 84 precisely. How his father did that journey of being a son of a nurse to the entrepreneur, to a medical representative, then distributor, and then owner of a company. Catch this information that how Sanchit researched about one of the leading anti-acne gel, Purodil, in our country. His college research project is that. And Needy KFT again for CKD patients, you can understand more on that episode. And many, many more interesting aspects. You can check the comment section for detailed information. Do watch that. We'll be touching upon some more aspects. So quickly again, Sanchit, if I can ask, you did this research as far as your anti-acne gel in your post-graduation. And then what about your doctorate, why it happened? You thought to be having a prefix of DR, just you are dealing with the community, or you really have some thought of doing some authentic more research in terms of doctorate? And any thoughts on that? And you did successfully. And then till now, your journey as an entrepreneur of a leading Ayurveda pharma company of this country, what exactly more you want to share? By the way, to the budding entrepreneurs and the startup founders, you have some secret formulas in episode 1 which Sanchit ji shared, and the learnings that the raw material, the quality should be premium if you want to succeed in Ayurveda business these days. So you will understand more about that. So please let us know about your doctorate first.
So I just talked about my M.Pharm. I developed my anti-acne gel, then I joined Emil. And my aim was to market this anti-acne gel. So my view is that if you are doing any research, that should go to the public. Many research in many top institutes of the country, they are just kept in the shelf, or in the thesis, or maybe restricted to the research articles, research papers. That's it. So I wanted that my research should go to the hands of the people. It should be made available to them. So I developed the Purodil. Oral preparation was already in our forte, Emil's pharma range. So I thought of developing this gel into the Purodil anti-acne gel. So I named it Purodil because we had already a product. So this Purodil anti-acne gel, and then along with that alpha mangosteen, then we added some different herbal ingredient, which is bakuchiol and all. Bakuchiol we are talking a lot about now. I added bakuchiol in Purodil gel in 2013. In 2013, along with alpha mangosteen, bakuchiol, and then which is Manjistha is there, along with then taking the Ayurvedic principles along with our modern research. That is how we developed this Purodil anti-acne gel. And then we launched Needy KFT. BGR 34 was launched in 2014 and 15. Again, I was there. So my interest was to basically propagate Emil, and we used to have stalls. I remember putting up a stall, very small stall on our own with a very small team in 2013, and doing marketing activities. And then BGR, I was again there was a event in Vigyan Bhavan. We had a stall there, and I was at the stall, and nearby there was a stall of CSIR, NBRI and CMAP. which is Central Institute of Medicinal and Aromatic Plants. So they came up that we have a product for diabetes, and why you don't promote this product? Emil has having a huge legacy in promoting Niri, Amlicare DS, Leucoskin. So they came up, the researchers from CMAP, and then the journey started for BGR34 also, which was a leading anti-diabetic, herbal anti-diabetic, and still is a leading herbal anti-diabetic, is the number one anti-diabetic product, BGR34. So all the launching, all the everything, the research studies, again they had done the research of the preclinical studies. Yeah. Then we conducted clinical studies, everything on our own.
Just to interrupt you here, as a doctor community, this is again coming from doctors, we deal with all these doctor communities, and sometimes consumers as well, my patients. You have a product BGR, which you are saying, and there is another product, I don't want to quote any company here, but very similar to BGR or some IEM kind of name. Can we have some better understanding about these two conflicting products in the market as a doctor and as a user as well?
Yeah.
Sorry to raise this point, but there is a confusion. If you can clarify.
There's a confusion among the doctors, but we are very much clear. So this is a research product which is developed by CSIR, CMAP, and there are two labs, CMAP and NBRI. So this was a sensation. Times of India carried this news on the front of its front page that there's a ₹5 tablet which is going to be available in the market very soon. And we had.
I remember that.
We have a lot of research, and a lot of media had carried these stories, and it was a sensation. It was a sensation, and people were asking for the product, and we had done multi-crores of sales for BGR34 in the year 2016. And looking at that, there are opportunistic people, and they had taken a formula from, that formula was researched in 1984. From a different lab. I don't want to name. A different government lab itself. So they also wanted to have some collaboration with the industry, and they gave it to another industry, and they named it in a same alphanumeric way. Then like BGR34 is alphanumeric. They named it alphanumeric, and what they did is they started promoting their products on the advertisement on the news and the newspapers, TV channels. And what as Emil Pharmaceuticals, Emil has never ever done any advertisement with respect to the therapeutic medicinal products. Whatever ethical prescription products Emil manufactures, we don't advertise, because we always promote our product to the doctors. Doctor prescribes the product to the patients, and we always say it that way, that you should always take any of the products with the doctor's prescription. And what they did is, because BGR34 media took it up as a story, articles in the newspapers. So that was not an advertisement, but because it was having, that was a PR, which people had news agencies has taken up, because it was a research. And even Honorable Prime Minister Shri Modi ji also highlighted in his speech that people should try this new research product of CSIR for diabetes. And it is
Mann Ki Baat, some Mann Ki Baat episode.
That time Mann Ki Baat was not there.
Speech something.
In a speech, in one
speech, I think.
In Vigyan Bhavan, we had told that you should take more and more people should take benefit of that. Even Modi ji had told about that. Because he was also leading all the activities in CSIR. Dr. Harshvardhan ji and everybody was there. And that is how BGR34 got so popular. Now people are opportunistic, and then what they did, that was unethical and wrong, because I would like to say it very openly. These days we talk about DMR, Drug and Magic Remedies Act. We cannot advertise any products for diabetes.
Absolutely.
You cannot advertise to the common public of any chronic disorders.
Absolutely.
And basically diabetes is something which is very common now, and people could be misled. These misleading ads. Even the top companies who are facing the legal issues these days, we don't want to name.
But
we know what is going on. And so they had started advertising in the newspapers. And what it caused is that the doctors had confusion, because they had a similar packaging, white and red. White and red, because that was a packaging trademark of.
So it should not come under some label act or what, like
label act.
It's a
had a copyright.
It's a mimic of your product.
We had the copyright, but in India in 2016. We had the legal fights also, but white and red, you cannot have any restriction of using white and red. Anybody can use it.
And just to interrupt you here is, see, you need to understand a very interesting thought, and I know from my past experience and research and feedback from the community. So when you go for doctors, so there are ethical doctors and there are quacks. When you go for leading companies, as he said about allopathic companies also and Ayurveda also, you have low quality medicines looking similar to them. I repeat, low quality medicines looking similar to them. Plus, please check the real and fake. Point number one. Second, their copies or their pirated or maybe those versions are also floating in the market.
Correct.
I think we should put a disclaimer here. So please, we should always connect to the authentic dealers or the authentic channel partners of Emil Pharma so that you can get the original product of Emil. So that is one thing which as an entrepreneur I want to bring your notice. Maybe you are also facing this challenge that you have so many copies, similar products,
copies, quacks, yeah.
Local,
so they are
spoiling bottles, they're local. These
they are
kind of
spoiling
things are
the name of
happening.
Ayurveda. They are spoiling the name of Ayurveda.
No, they are using certain kind of Emil.
Yes, there are many products. Many
for
products.
doing that.
They're similar kind of a packaging. They don't have any manufacturing unit. When we go there is no address. The address given are wrong where they're manufacturing the product.
So basically,
They're
it's a quackery.
It's a quackery.
Okay.
You cannot. We have tried many times, but our father says that you focus on what increasing your business. Don't focus on these things, and this is for the public to realize what is wrong and what is correct.
Right.
So that is why BGR34. So then doctors like you and Vaidyas started thinking that Emil is advertising, and this is an advertised product. And the advertised products, doctors never prescribe any advertised products. So our strength has always been doctors. Vaidyas, they have been our prescribers, and they're the core of the company. And we realize that we will never do anything which is against those practices which doctors don't like. So then they had advertised these products, and even we were facing a lot of criticism on that we are. I can guarantee you there's not a single advertisement on BGR34 or any of our products which had gone to the public domain, even in newspapers or even in the TV media or the digital media. So we go in the ethical way, and 10 years down the lane, now it is 10 years now, BGR34. It is still the number one herbal anti-diabetic drug as per the AIOCD data, and it is still leading the market. Although there were confusions in the minds of doctor. Now we are clearing that patients who are still on BGR34, they are using BGR34, they are getting good results. They are having good glycemic control. And basically, when we talk about diabetes also, all the drugs cannot suit 100% of the patient population. So the patients who had taken self-medication, they didn't, maybe some got results, some didn't got results. But it is for the doctor to decide.
Right.
Like along with that, what the patient requires, what is the etiology behind, what are the contributing diseases that he's having. So you cannot sit at home and take 1 or 2 pills and your blood sugar will be normal. No, that is not possible.
Definitely.
But yes, patients who have, or doctors has prescribed them, patients are still taking BGR34 because they have got the results. And I would still say that if you are going to the doctor, if you have diabetes, you consult a doctor. They will totally diagnose you. Then they will give you the treatment plan. And then if some drug is suiting you, then you can continue.
No, definitely. See, I agree with you. And on that thought, I would like to share my 18 years of experience and journey as an individual. And we are dealing with more than 1 lakh young or medium age or senior Vaidyas across the country right now on our platform, that is Indian Vaidyas. So all the Emil products, but I want to put a disclaimer here to the audience and subscribers there as well. When we are trying to discuss these products, it's not the intention that you take BGR34 from the day next and you think that it is sufficient for your diabetes. No. Consult a Vaidya first. There will be a set of medicines. Each Emil medicine is a very important ingredient of that prescription, which we are trying to convey to all of you. So there is a standard prescription with having all the solutions for your problems, and BGR34 can be one of the part of that prescription depending on your condition. But if it will be or not be, that will be decided by an Ayurvedic doctor or Vaidya. That I think we need to try to convince here or maybe understand among each other as stakeholders. and that is the best model to heal the humanity and mankind.
That is
So in that way, when you said that you started your journey and you start connecting with these Vaidyas, and you likely mentioned a very important point, and I respect you. There are very few Ayurveda pharma company owners in this country who has a thought like you. So I appreciate you on that, and you consider us, the Vaidya community, as one of the stakeholders in your growth and business, which is again appreciable. However, as per the recent Gazette notification in December from NCSM, we are only can associated as an advisor
yeah
for any kind of a research study which you can do with us.
yeah
Any unethical marketing or endorsement and nothing is allowed now, and we are also not interested. We all recording this podcast also just for the awareness. There is no business interest underlying this.
yeah correct.
Right. So in that way, I need to understand, Sanchit. I remember that you connected with our youth Vaidyas in a very prominent way in last few years. And one reason I see is your love and passion, or maybe I see my 6-year old kid also very passionate right now about cricket. He know so many shots which I don't know. He breathe, sleep, and eat cricket. He is in recently being admitted, and his school will take him to the academy maybe next year. So he's at that level. So is that with you also? You for like from birth you were that passionate about cricket, or it hit you or clicked you in your school or college? And I see your passion every Sunday, guys. You check this man's social media. Mostly on the Sundays, he's playing some cricket competition, and so many matches, so many tournaments. I don't know the diversity of those tournaments that much, but and every time you are somehow winning some aspect. So is it? Some people are asking, is it sponsored event Sanchit is organizing, or don't mind? He's winning, but yes, your winning percentage is very good. You sometimes have lost as well. I have seen on your social media, and you wrote something about that disappointment, but your winning percentage is still very good. So what is the secret and the entire journey of cricket? I want to understand now.
So basically, when we talk about cricket, I've been avid lover of cricket since the start, since childhood, and I've been considering Sachin Tendulkar as god of cricket and my god also. As a teenager, as a childhood, everybody considers that the god of cricket, and this is also my god, one of the gods. And because of Sachin Tendulkar, and we have been following cricket so much and playing cricket. I used to play a lot of cricket in my neighborhood since the childhood. And during when I had taken my science in 10th, so you know the family pressure and everything, that you have to focus on the studies. And I did not join any professional academy till my 12th. Once I passed out and joined Jamia Hamdard, that is when my cricket journey started actually.
Okay.
Actually, in a professional way. I joined the cricket academy,
Okay.
Siri Ford Academy, Madan Lal, under the Madan Lalji. And I practiced there. I used to bunk college in the first year and go to my cricket academy. Then I got selected in my university team, in my pharmacy team. I used to win a lot of tournaments for our pharmacy along with the team that we had. Then the university team also, in the university team also I got selected as a captain. So before that, I did not play on turf. On turf,
Okay.
professional cricket, I started in 2006. And since 2006 to 2010, I had developed a lot. I was doing academy also, but then I decided in my second or third year, maybe I met with an accident also. So doctor has advised that I'd undergone surgery, and then because my face was smashed in the from mirror while coming back from Vaishno Devi, I met with an car accident. So after that, I had to leave my cricket academy, and I also had to focus because B from third year and fourth year are very tough, very strict,
Right.
and we cannot miss the classes also. So then I had to switch at the studies. Yeah, I have to do this.
Great.
And even cricket, I think your journey should start at a very young age.
Yes.
So I thought that my journey is here, and then, but cricket is something which it is very close to my heart. I cannot breathe without.
So what is the secret about this winning percentage of your Emil team?
Yeah, so I just it is on the Crick Heroes app. It is around 65%.
Acha.
65% is the win percentage of Emil.
Acha.
And whenever we put on the social media, we always put on all the wins that we are having.
Yeah.
The losses we never put on the
Okay.
social media. We do lose matches that don't come into the.
So you're not washing your dirty linens in the public.
So no, It is not dirty runs. We win, we lose. When we win,
But rank you are by the way 65. I was not aware about this fact. So, but 65% means what? Like you are
say, out of 100 matches, we win.
No, that I understood. So, for example, okay, so teams like Emil team, there may be many other teams also
many
in this
other
country.
teams. So now we are
you are at
one of the better clubs. It was just a mixed corporate. When I left Jami Hamdard, as a university captain, I left.
Okay.
Jami Hamdard after my M.Pharm. So all my Hamdard friends, Jami Hamdard friends, we had a team. We used to play cricket in a mixed corporate way. Then they also had their own journeys, and we also were very much busy with our work. Now we have a club. Now it's the Emil Cricket Club where young professional cricketers are there with us, along with the old ones also, where all my friends from Jami Hamdard were still playing cricket, are with me, along with the professional cricketers. Now we have a Emil Cricket Club, which is one of the leading clubs, because whatever the tournaments which are going on in the professional cricket, a lot of my cricket team members have been selected in the IPL teams. IPL teams.
You name any one or two, by the way?
There are multiple players. They are not in the playing 16.
Okay.
They are in their reserves.
Still, any names you want to quote here?
There are many names.
Okay.
There are many names.
Okay.
Many names. Dipesh Balyan is one of the current players, which is now he is playing.
So Emil Club is like helping to build our IPL team, if I can.
Yes, recently there's going to be Delhi Premier League is organized by DDCA. On those we have two players which have been selected. One is Krish Yadav, Dipesh Balyan have been selected from Emil.
Nice.
They are.
So how to join this Emil Cricket Club? If any Ayurveda student or medical student,
I get a lot of.
So is there any? Maybe you can have some competition, or you can have some entrance criteria, and you can select talent if you want.
Currently,
it
is from the close circle that we choose. We
give some chances to some budding cricketers in our country.
We are not having those trials, but soon we'll be having the proper setup, maybe with a proper club. We'll be structuring it in times to come. Maybe. So
no, you can have, my request is, Sanchit, you have this access, or if you have this ecosystem, so you can have some memberships also, we don't mind, and people these days are earning also well in their student journeys as well. So many of our students, other students have apps, they are earning good, they don't mind paying your membership or that kind of an expense fee, but they want to be in a good club to grow as a cricketer. So do let us know if you have any.
We will be registering our club.
So we understand your expenses and investments also in managing. So I can understand as a founder of one of the startups. So we completely understand that, and we are here to help you in growing that ecosystem as well. By the way, so you let us know. There can be Emil is the pharma or the company, but there can be another non-conflicting brands also which we can connect and take it forward. So I think let's talk a separate session, and let's have you separately for this cricket.
We have Emil Cricket Club, and I do wicket keeping. I'm a batsman and a wicket keeper.
Great.
So I'm in my 30s, and just like I think Rohit and Virat Kohli.
So why not you have taken any of your brand ambassador cricketer till now? You have taken some Bollywood actresses in your upcoming, or so I would say, discussion of
we tried. Okay. Basically, we are not focusing on the male audience.
Okay.
So our men's cricket team, we did not have any options. We did not take any options because of the male audience. We're focusing on the female audience.
Okay.
We talk about the Indian women cricket team also. We had some options, Shefali and all that. So, but then because of the beauty industry and the skincare industry, they all are in the it's a showbiz, right? So we thought, okay, we stick to Bollywood because their fan following also is not that much
it's a business decision, which you can say.
Business decision, and basically the fan following and what their credentials are. So we finalized Genelia Deshmukh has a good background, is a family woman, and a lot of people follow her, and her family also coming from a very clean background. Because Ayurveda is a very clean brand.
So sorry to say this, Ayurveda, you suddenly are listening. So let's move to that now. If you are handling Emil very well, I think it's a multi-crore brand till now. And when you started Ayurveda also, it was a multi-crore brand. Then what was the thought of having a separate brand for beauty, cosmetic, and in that also authentic Ayurveda? I personally, as a Vaidya, prescribing so many Ayurveda products to my patients, and they are getting very much healed thanks to, again, a very good quality here. Again, nothing a kind of an endorsement, but a valid case study or case research I can discuss. Your hair fall range, your intimate range, your skincare range, many ranges you have. So tell us about why Ayurveda came to your mind, why you started Ayurveda. What is the, like, you saw a multi-billion dollar industry in beauty or cosmetic, or any other thought, and you have some unique formulations. You have putting diamonds, I think real diamonds or real gold or that kind of stuff also in your products. So tell us about those.
Basically, I don't work on the commercial terms. Basically, you're telling about the skincare industry is huge. Definitely, it is huge, and the numbers are also huge. The financial part is also, investment is very also huge. But when I was working on Ayurveda products after 2015, 2016, 17, my aim was basically to give good products to the market. Basically, I thought that was a gap, because I used to use a lot of Ayurvedic personal care products, because I myself, since childhood, what kind of a soap I am going to use, what kind of a face wash I am going to use. I'm a very fond user of these products, and Ayurvedic products. Some companies were there in the market which were doing fine, but there are people who are charging a lot of premium in the premium malls, which are selling Ayurveda.
Affordability was not there.
And whatever available in the mass market, I thought that it is just they are leveraging the herbal or the Ayurvedic extracts, aloe vera, neem. They just put for the namesake. They are not having that kind of quality. The quality is on a very high premium. So what the medium mid premium range was a gap, what I thought, and then the therapeutic efficacy, along with safety and along with the kind of aesthetic feel that the cosmetic or a personal or skincare product is requiring. Because when we talk about the using the herbal extracts in the right concentration, all the Amyl products, Amyl pharmaceutical product is having high concentration of herbal extracts, so the active percentage is very high. Similarly, in Ayurveda also we had kept high percentage of the actives. But when we use high percentage of herbal actives, the kade that we use, the extracts, they're very deep colored, dark colored, and then they have the pungency also is there when we are using the oils that we make, so classical preparation oils that we make. Then if we are adding those classical preparations or the authentic Ayurvedic extracts, oils, they have their own texture, they have their own odor and nature. So when we put that into a aesthetic skincare product, it does not come up like that. So we had to, that was a challenge, that along with the right concentration, which will give the results, the aesthetic property of the product should also be top class. So you're matching the international standards.
You're trying to say here is that one side, again, with the strategy or the mindset or the principles of Amyl, you took authentic raw material, but there was a challenge in having that raw material into an international presentable form.
Yeah.
Right? And you solved that problem in some of your products, or many of your products till now, and that's why the efficacy and the results which we are seeing is there. Great.
Correct.
So what is the journey till now with Ayurveda? You have opened certain stores, you have hired some Bollywood celebrity as a founder again of a new brand. What exactly the message you pass on to the upcoming? There are so many legends also in Indian cosmetic industry, in herbal and Ayush segment as well, and there are so many budding startups as well. But you are at a mid-level right now, which I see as an Ayurveda. So what is your message to the budding startups, and what are your learnings of reaching that stage?
Message basically is Ayurveda. I launched Ayurveda in 2020 when Corona had struck.
Right.
In March, Ayurveda is launched in 14th February 2020.
Okay.
And in March, 23rd March, lockdown was announced. And that was a challenging phase that that I had done all the research. The products were made ready. All the marketing part was done, and we were ready for the launch.
It was a setback for
struck by Corona.
For everyone, I think.
By everybody, but we did not stop. I did not stop. As an entrepreneur, I think we should always think positive, and we should be very optimistic about the things and the risk-taking capacity. That is what makes an entrepreneur different.
Right.
So at that time, it was a very risky thing to launch a personal care brand when people are not even using, not going out of their homes,
Right.
not using any.
So you launched in Corona,
We launched in Corona,
digital launch.
digital and offline also.
Acha.
Offline, we launched the team in August 2020. In August, when we were struggling from Corona, and we were also doing good research projects in Emil Pharmaceuticals. At one time, we were doing projects for Emil Pharmaceuticals, researching new products, developing new products like Aminity Plus or something. We were doing research on Fifatrol.
I remember Fifatrol. Yeah, I remember that it's an excellent herbal antipyretic.
Yeah,
and in Corona we have seen in our clinic.
It had been.
I remember.
And NRDC also took it up. So we were researching on that. At the same time, we were launching a personal care brand in the market with an offline presence. People were going digital. We launched digital also. At the same time, we were doing offline marketing. Why we took that risk is that at that time, a lot of skincare brands were wrapping up. They were pulling their stock from the market because it was a very difficult situation for all of them to pay the salaries to the sales team and everything. So they were pushing back. And now gaining that shelf space in the market is a very tough thing. And at that time, we had gained shelf space in different beauty outlets during Corona times. And that was the advantage that we got, that at that time, all the skincare brands were moving back. We were entering in.
Great.
So
how much is the brand right now?
The brand is around 20 crores plus.
Great.
So 20 crores plus. And internationally, we are doing really well. We have been registered in many countries. South Africa, we are exporting. Mauritius, we are doing. Nepal, we are doing. European countries in Poland. So all the Ayurveda products have European standards. So we have been the same kind of formulation, because the formulation, I took a lot of time developing these formulations, 2015, 2020. So the extracts and the right excipients we are using. So there are no personal care products which are free from chemicals. All have chemicals. We say we are free from harsh chemicals. We don't use anything harmful chemicals. We are using chemicals which have been derived from nature, basically. Either they are derived from naturally or they are natural. There are only two categories which we are using.
Derived naturally or natural?
Derived naturally or are natural.
Right.
So excipients. So how Ayurveda is different from other skincare brands also? The answer is, along with the right concentration of the herbal extracts, we mention everything on the label. That we mention all the excipients that we use.
Ingredient,
excipients. Otherwise, generally people write QS, quantity sufficient.
Yes,
that's it. Many people don't mention even the quantity of the herbal extract that they are putting. Ayurveda companies have a mandate that they have to mention, but there are some MNC brands which are using Ayurveda or the herbal extract, but they never mention what is the concentration they are using. Please do read your labels when you're buying any product, any personal care products, any OTC products. What concentration of the herbal extracts are present in that formula? What is the diverse range? Whether the concentration is enough for that therapeutic action or not? What excipients they are using? That is very important. And that is how we get a safe and efficacious Ayurvedic product. A lot of Ayurvedic products are available. A lot of herbal products are available now in the market, but they are not, I would say, up to the mark, what it should be and what the you should get in the market results, along with safety and along with the efficacy and at the right price. This is what Ayurveda is aiming to give you. We are giving, and we have all the products are European standard, that we are standards are followed. So we are now registered in Europe also. We are exporting in Europe, in UK also, and many other countries. US and Canada will be focusing in another 2 years time maybe.
Sure.
So all the Ayurveda products are now doing well in the international market along with the domestic market. We had taken Genelia D'Souza as our brand ambassador just because of the lot of tough players and tough market, how it is going on, the D2C market. A lot of people who are coming with a lot of funding are scaling up very fastly. They have burning a lot of money. So it is all bootstrap because we are a family-driven company, family business. We are managing everything on our own, and so we are going in a very steady pace, and that is because we don't want to burn anything. We want to build a sustainable brand, and 10 years into the brand, I'm very sure that will be in one of the top players in the personal care category also, by the name of Ayurveda. We're already doing international really well, and also going to launch GCC market, Dubai also. We have registered all the products.
Great.
So very soon you will see Ayurveda everywhere, and India also we are fighting hard for our space.
Sure. No, actually, I think the learning from this aspect is, as a budding entrepreneur, Ayurveda, which Dr. Sanchit is heading as a brand, I will request him to share 3 tips. But prior to that, he's shared a very interesting perspective that the raw material, authentic raw material, converted into international quality product, and there is a balance. If you see, as a Vaidya, I am also prescribing, and they are having a Bollywood celebrity, so they are managing the D2C and the Ayurveda or any stakeholder doctors network very well for both of their brands, Emil and Ayurveda. And I again request all of you, if you are an Ayurveda doctor or any other doctor or healthcare professional, and maybe a user, let's understand this podcast and this episode, or maybe the previous one, as a learning from the life of his family, Dr. Sanchit, his father, mother, his sister and brother. We'll quickly touch upon both of them, and we'll proceed for the concluding of this episode as well. And I think in these recordings, I've understood that we have many more content which we need to record together.
Yeah.
So I will request you, your family, your father, mother, sister, brother, your wife, to be our guest and understand more about this family in the forthcoming episodes. Their own journey is very inspiring, motivating, and
in-depth,
challenging. So we all will have learnings and our tips. So quickly, 3 tips for all the budding cosmetic entrepreneurs to be a successful. A 20+ crore brand is not a joke these days. Without having a strong fund, with very conservative funds. So 3 tips quickly for our budding entrepreneurs, and then we'll move on to your brother, sister, and wife as well.
The 3 tips I would like to share that every entrepreneur should have, basically, first is passion. If you have passion for your aim or your goal, then everything is possible. If there's no passion, then I think you should not start your own business. So one is passion. Second is you should be ready to struggle also, because a life of an entrepreneur is just like a ECG graph. You see ECG graph, one goes up, then it goes down, it goes up, and it's you have to be ready for that journey, because it's a roller coaster journey. So you should be ready for all the situations. You have to be positive, and so that thinking positive is another tip that I would like to share, because that if you think positive, then everything will fall into place. And I think everybody has been chosen to do something or the other, because that is why we are here. Some energies which are here in this universe have developed us into this being, and they make our journey, and they decide our journey along with our hard work and passion and commitment. So these 3, I think, hard work, passion, and commitment, all we have to put in all everything that you have. Along with that, your family should also be very supportive, because life of an entrepreneur, it is not easy. I sleep around 5 to 6 hours daily only, and my family is very supportive, and that is how you should be ready for that. And you have to drive the brand, because you are the person behind the brand, and nobody will take pain more than you do. And you have to build a family who takes that passion into the market or into the brand principles. So I think commitment, hard work. First is passion. If you don't have passion, don't start anything. Passion is most important. And then you have to be very, I think, honest to yourself.
Right.
to your customers, to all the people involved in your business. So honesty is also very important. Although it in the life of an entrepreneur, it is you face a lot of struggles, and some commitments are met, some commitments are not met. But in the long run, if you are honest, your intention is correct. Your intention should be correct. If your intention is correct, then nobody can stop you from succeeding.
So we were discussing about your personal and professional journey till now, Sanchit, and I see we have to record many more episodes with you. We're not done, guys. So we'll be having maybe this is the season 1 of Sanchit Sharma on our Ayurdarshan. Will soon have season 2 of Sanchit Sharma as well in the language of OTT these days. But quickly, I don't want to do a crime without asking at least one line for your brother, Dr. Ikshit, for your sister, Dr. Nitika, and for your wife, Dr. Sugandha.
Dr. Sugandha.
Great. So please, one-liners about 3 of them, and we'll conclude this episode with you.
Yeah, sure. Let's start off with the eldest one, Dr. Nitika Kohli. So Dr. Nitika Kohli is leading a Ayurveda practitioner, MD doctor, and she is basically leading EMIL Healthcare and Research Center. So now she is having expertise in treating the leukoderma, which we also call vitiligo. And we are aiming for a vitiligo-free nation. Vitiligo and leukoderma is one such disease which is chronic and again incurable, which in the modern medicine. A lot of steroidal creams are being used, UVA therapy is being used, surgical therapies have been used, but they are not successful.
Absolutely.
So, and the principles of Ayurveda, we treat them in a very holistic manner. Dr. Nitika Kohli is leading those camps all over the country. She's having those clinical camps. All the weeks, all the days are booked. Many patients have been treated with a success rate of 70 to 80%.
Great.
So more than 1 lakh patients she has only seen only for this disease.
Great.
Very difficult to treat. Psychological counseling is required along with the treatment.
Yes.
We have a research product from DRDO, which is Defense Research Development Organization, by the name of Leucoskin.
Right.
So she leads that EMIL Healthcare Division, Dr. Nitika Kohli. And then Dr. Ikshit Sharma is also driving the business since 2009. Before me, he's 4 years elder to me. He has a strong financial perspective and accounts, finance. He's done his B from M.Pharm and also MBA and PhD. So he is an MBA also, and he is having strong skills in those IT skills because he's driving IT, finance of EMIL Pharmaceuticals and all marketing and sales. Along with that, he's also looking at the EMIL animal healthcare.
Okay.
We are pets because pets, veterinary range, poultry, cattle range, and also for the horses.
It's herbal. It's pure herbal.
All herbal because now because again we talk. This is a very lengthy topic. We can discuss a lot about that. Because of the antibiotic overuse in the cattle you can see the milk that we are getting these days.
Right.
Because of
contamination in the ecosystem,
everything. The hormonal composition of the milk has been changed. It is changing the hormonal composition. People who are consuming milk and milk products, they are also getting some are getting lactose intolerant. Some are getting some female teenagers are getting PCOD in a very early stage, or they are maturing too early because of the animal products that they're basically from milk, and then cattle are being
chemicals
chemicals are being used. Similarly, in the poultry division, the chicken we are having. Again, in the poultry, a lot of injections or the supplements are being given. Steroidal supplements are being given to increase the weight of the in the poultry, increase the weight of the chicken, because their profit is only by the in less number of days. The meat conversion should be the best. It should have it is because it sells because of the weight. Now, to increase that weight also, they are giving but now people are wanting the herbal supplements in the cattle division. So we can feed our cows the herbal supplements because they are having some issues with the gastric related issues or some other issues that they are having, or the horses are there, or in the poultry division, the kind of meat that they are having. So now they are shifting towards the herbal preparations. They want herbal preparations so that the meat which is coming, which should also be healthy to consume. For the milk that is coming from the cattle division should also be healthy to consume. So this now the pet or the animal healthcare division is also one of the important parts of the human health.
Absolutely.
Because human health is somehow combined or associated with the animal health. If we will not take care of the health of our animals, it will affect us. Because if we eat unhealthy chicken or if unhealthy milk, we are definitely going to get diseases.
Right.
Similarly with the pets, now people, because of the psychological stress or the anxiety, a lot of households are having pets. Now their health is also very important, and then the pet food and the pet supplement that are there, a lot of processed foods pets are having. So their kidneys are also getting damaged. So
they are into pet food as well.
Not pet food, but we are entering into pet food very soon.
Okay.
But Niri is one product where their kidneys are being damaged. So pets,
so you have a Niri version of veterinary.
Yes, Niri for pets also.
Great.
So Dr. Ikshit Sharma is leading animal healthcare along with his contribution in the animal pharmaceuticals, and then myself, Dr. Sanchit, and then Dr. Sugandha, my wife.
Right.
She is leading Emil Junior Smiles. It is a pediatric dental clinic.
Okay.
So only all the specialized for children. We have a pediatric clinic where we are also giving laughing gas. So again, a dental treatment for children is very tough. It's very tough. So if you visit Emil Junior Smiles, it's in Paschim Vihar, the clinic is in Paschim Vihar. All the theme is all on children. We want to make them comfortable. Then we also use techniques like laughing gas. So she is a MDS in pediatric dentistry, and she is also doing really well. And back to your question that why you did PhD, you were asking me that why you pursued, because you were doing well in Emil Pharmaceuticals and leading all the marketing initiatives and everything, launching BGR, Niri KFT, along with my anti-acne gel. I was doing well. I did not want. But PhD was basically our father. He wants us that I was not able to become a doctor.
Okay.
Because he was the only left by 1 mark. He tell that is why he did his BSc. So he wanted that all my children should be doctors. So Dr. Ritika Kohli, she's an Ayurvedic vet. Dr. Ikshit Sharma, then Dr. Sanchit. So he was very fond that PhD. I will do my
PhD gives you the highest level of research.
Although the research that I did in PhD, I did in my MPharm in 2011-12 is more than what I did, what anybody could do in his or her PhD.
Right.
So I actually had worked a lot in my masters itself. I would like to thank my guide, Dr. Mohammad Mujib. He helped me a lot, and then Dr. Shaukat and Dr. Vidhu Eri, and a lot of my guides. Dr. Shariar is there, Dr. Ansari is there. So they had helped me a lot.
Right.
And so I did my PhD in my kidney disease itself. So I was very clear that I have to do my PhD for my own growth also. And my father wanted it. So I did my PhD and it was on kidney disease. So that was, my MPharm was on PhD on, MPharm was on anti-acne gel. This was for on kidney disease. So already Niri KFT was launched, but still developing a solid dosage form was my aim. So I developed a combination, a capsule, which is for the kidney disease, but in a limited herbs, maximum results. So if you still see Niri KFT solid dosage form, doctors are wanting us from I think 3 to 4 years. We have been getting demand that patient has to take a lot of volume of syrup, 15 ml thrice a day. It is 45 ml. Some patients are not able to take who are on dialysis. So you come up with a solid dosage form, capsule or a tablet. So we have already done the research work, but still, because until and unless we will not be confident on our results, we will not be launching that. So very soon you will see also a solid dosage form. Although we are now in the Kenyan market, we have launched because we got good results on that. In Kenya, we are doing many multiple countries in the globe that Amil pharmaceutical products are now being exported also, registered also,
Great.
along with Ayurveda.
Great. So thank you so much, Sanchit. I think this was all from us today. And in next episode, we'll learn more about the export business of Emil Pharmaceutical. We'll learn more about Ayurveda. We'll learn in detail about his personal journey, his team, the way he's building the business, and many more guys is coming up in the upcoming episodes with Dr. Sanchit Sharma. And I thank you all for watching us. Do subscribe us. Do share this among your network if you really like this podcast. And we are coming up with many more exciting podcasts with Dr. Sanchit Sharma, the entire Emil family, and with many more guests. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Piyush.